So it appears that people want to talk about this, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Hello, I'm Kyle and welcome to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the Arizona audit going on right now for the past few weeks. This article here comes to us from the American Thinker, and it's very, very good. It's by a person named J.B. Shirk, and it's entitled, "If There's Nothing to Hide, Why Are Democrats Freaking Out About the Arizona Audit?" It's from May 9th. And again, this article is fantastic. It covers a lot of stuff. I'm not going to cover all of it for the reason that YouTube policies may not allow me to do it. And so I'm going to do this video as a test run to see how it takes. As you know, that we've done many videos on this channel, even had videos removed that they didn't like. So I want to keep this as solid as possible. But the key thing here is this. It's the question that was raised here. It was also mentioned by Mike Huckabee this week as well on his YouTube channel. And many people are asking this question as well. The question is this. If you know you won, why are you trying to stop the audit? Why? Wouldn't someone like Rachel Maddow, wouldn't she just love if they could just put this to bed and they could say, you know what? Solid, it's sound. Everything was above board, and now they can spike the football. They can shove it in those nasty Trump supporter conservatives' faces. Wouldn't it be awesome if you were a Democrat? That's what I would want if I was a Democrat. Oh yeah, by the way, count all your way. Yeah, especially when you have transparency at a level that we've never seen in a long time. You know, live cameras. You know, so. But then you have people like CNN harassing people. You have gaslighting. All kind of blockage. You have attorneys coming out of woodwork, lawyers to stop this thing. Why? Why? And here's the deal. For me, we still live in America. Okay? America is a constitutional republic. Okay, for those who don't know, constitutional republic basically says that you have a constitution, and it's a republic, which means that as long as the laws stay within the moral fabric of society, they can continue to be legal. Otherwise, it's not just democracy where it's mob rule. It has a constitution republic which governs that, which is based on God-given rights. That's what I'm trying to say. Part of that is people have the ability to be represented through our congresspeople, senators, and so forth. Well, the people of Maricopa County, which is a very populous county in Arizona, highly Republican, they have the right to find out if their election is valid. There's been a lot of questions all over the place. Wouldn't it be smart for the Democrats to, and even the rhinos, the Republican rhinos, to just put this to bed so that we can just say, hey, Biden won? And then once that's the case, then we can start working on how to fix 2024. What do we need to do better? That's what I want to talk to you about. What can be done better? I'm going to submit to you nothing. If you've been keeping an eye on the election audit taking place right now in Maricopa County, Arizona, then you also know that Democrats, news, propagandists, and concerned Never Trump Republicans are beginning to sound more and more like trapped rats squeaking in fear. Interesting. Again, this is something that's going around, and this is heating up a little bit. Even though the entire audit is being conducted with unprecedented transparency, like we showed before, live feeds that invite viewers anywhere in the world to watch the process, reporters and adverse political agents have been repeatedly caught attempting to infiltrate the well-run operation or laboring to expose the identities of the workers. Docs workers, they're trying to infiltrate, to try and harass. What's going on here? Why would they do that? The gaslighting, and Americans aren't stupid. They want to know what's going on. What do you have to hide? You know, and that's the question. But the second question is, which no one's bringing up, is what could Trump have done better? Let's take a look at this here. Here it says here, state legislators. By the way, if you don't know, the Constitution puts the election process in the hands of the state legislators. The Republican Party has been moving hugely red since Obama was in office, where the country's state legislators were overwhelmingly red, Republican across the board. All of the disputed states, Arizona's, I'm not sure New Mexico, but I know Georgia, Michigan definitely, and Pennsylvania definitely, and Wisconsin, I believe as well, were all Republican in terms of the House and the Senate. Right? It's here, those people in those positions, their responsibility, they have the plenary authority or the absolute authority to handle elections. Now, we know through what happened with Pennsylvania, how they abdicated that responsibility to the governor, to the attorney general, or whatever it was. But they had that right, and it should have been challenged. Okay, but anyway, I'll get to this. This is what this is talking about. So this paragraph here, you can read it for yourself. You can pause it. That the state legislators were useless in ensuring the election. Okay, and as you know, you may not know, the state legislators in the Constitution, as well as other auxiliary documents that came out of that, bills and so forth. I think 1876, I believe, was a compromise there. That they have plenary authority or absolute authority to govern elections. And we saw very little activity there. So I'm gonna let you read that for yourself. I'm not gonna say it because I think the algorithm might hit me on that one. But it's very important to understand that. So it goes back to my question. What should Trump have done differently? Okay, consider this. No president for a century and a half has won more votes during re-election than he did for the first election yet lost re-election. And President Trump gained over 10 million new votes over his 2016 victory. Think about that. 10 million new votes. 300 counties plus more than 300 counties in the Midwest, going back to Dukakis, maybe a little bit before, voted for Democrats for president at a rate of 30% on average for those 300 counties. Fast forward to 2016. Those same 300 counties flipped to Trump. They went 30% for Trump, of a swing of 60%. Incredible. Now take that and add that to the 10 million plus new votes that he got in 2016. All right, number 2, Joe Biden, a man inventing obvious signs of mental decline and dementia, who generated historically low levels of excitement among his own Democrat voters, somehow won over 15 million more votes than Barack Obama, the political rock star who energized Democrats like no other politician in recent memory. These are undeniable. So if you want to talk to someone in a level-headed debate or discussion, these are valid questions and points to make. The third one here is, President Trump won almost every traditional bellwether county in the country from coast to coast by double digits. Plus, he got 10 million more votes than he. So, what could Trump have done differently? I've run campaigns. I know how it works. Even on a local level, you go through your people, you look at your various precincts, and you find out what your rate of turns you can expect to get for your party, for independents and Democrats, based on past elections. And then you basically say, okay, I'm going to go for this percentage in this precinct, and I'm going to plan events around that so that I can get that vote up. That's what you do. It's just, it's going through numbers. So when you lose the election, you go and find out what did we do wrong. So what possibly could Trump have done wrong? There has to be numbers to show that. Do exit polling or whatever. Well, if they can't do that, then show us the results via the audit, if for no other reason, so we know what to do. Because if there's no transparency in elections, then how are we going to know how to go forward? Maybe that's also by design. Listen to this. It's revealing that unlike other past election losses, there was no great Republican autopsy done in order to pinpoint what went wrong, as there was after Mitt Romney's 2012 failure. If they went after it then, they went to find out what did we do wrong. Okay? Other than the occasional assertion that Republicans must do better with suburban women. Well, remember, Trump got the highest majority of minority votes in the history of the Republican Party, going back to probably Hoover. I get that number, but I think it's probably Hoover. It's a long time, if not ever. Well, I think Lincoln probably got a lot, but you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, you have that going on. And now it says here that the reason why it's so obvious is he did better with voters in general than any other sitting president in history, and with minority voters, and particularly than any Republican in 60 years. When George Bush recently remarked that Republicans would lose future elections if they appealed to a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant base, Its out-of-touch assessment of the 2020 election was apparent to anyone paying attention. However waspy George Bush Republican Party may have been, it is Donald Trump who expanded the party's reach to Americans of every background. Trump's direct engagement with black voters has been so successful that even Obama was forced to minimize the accomplishment as merely due to Trump's macho style. And again, I mentioned it here before, that I think that's why they're going after this racial thing so hard now, because they gotta get those votes back. They gotta get those votes back some kind of way, because he made such an inroads there. They have to keep driving these narratives that get black people emotional and angry and going back to the race card so they can come back to the plantation, so to speak, and continue on as they were. It's a sad thing, but that's what I think is going on. So well worth reading. It's on American Thinker. Check it out. It's from May 9th. And let me know what you guys think about that, because I'm curious what your thoughts are. I haven't done a video like this in a while, and I'm going to see how this plays out in the YouTube algorithm, how it works, and what happens. So if it goes well and people respond to it, we'll do more. So I'm responding to the poll question that we had, and you definitely want to talk about this, and I definitely want to learn more about it, because they're talking about maybe going this into Michigan. There's a bunch of chatter this weekend about that on Rasmussen. People are chattering it out, but I just couldn't find exactly any hard solid link that Michigan was asking for another audit. It almost seemed like they were actually responding to an audit that already happened. So I'm curious about that. And of course, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin would be helpful as well. And if you like what we do on this channel, we take pop culture and politics and filter it to you in a conservative manner. In other words, filter to your right. And please click the like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. As always, please check out some content that we have right here.